Hi guys, welcome back to Wardle Road and welcome back. I think by the time this comes out it'll be March the 1st, so this will be my March update and there'll probably be some more later on in the month. As you can see, I'm next to my control base which I've been working on, so more on that later on in the video. Yeah, this is really sort of a roundup of all the things I've been getting on with. There'll be a bit from Andy as well as to how he put the track plan together. So yeah, enjoy the video. Leave any feedback that you can in the comments about what you like about the depot and what you'd improve. And yeah, enjoy the video and I'll see you in the next one. So we're over at the depot and as you can see, a lot has happened. The backboard has started to take shape nicely, which my mum's very kindly started painting. So you've got the blue sky and the sort of clouds starting to appear, and eventually there'll be a sort of skyline and hillside type scene. The hard standing from scale model scenery is in now, up at this end. Yeah, this is going to be for the double shed part of the depot, which I'll go and put on now. Stay 2 seconds. And that's going to sit roughly something like that. So that's going to be my 2-lane engine shed, and at the other end of the depot I've got the 1-lane engine shed. Inside the depot I've got lots and lots of various items which Rachel kindly sent over to me. So I'll leave her link to her channel in the description. And of course all the items from a shed ring as well will find its way, will find a use for in the depot. So hard standing's done, the sheds have been done. My buffer lights, if I pan to the left here, as you can see they all light up. And also in the bottom left corner you might be able to see the Digitrax controller. This is my, I don't know why the lights, I think that's the LED lights, so they're not flashing on in real life, but this is my new digital controller. So I'll show you quickly how that works. As I say, ignore the flashing LEDs, I think that's just something to do with the camera picking it up. So we'll choose, so I'll choose loco number 39, which is the 08 in the middle lane just here, the green 08. Start that up. I love the kind of old school controls they've got on here as well, with the forward, brake and reverse, and the accelerator as well. Yeah, this 08 and this 08 here is both from St Michael's. We did a bit of a trade-off with John from over there, so he's got a couple of my old locos now. The DRS Class 20, that's from Jason at Barnabas Junction. I managed to pick that up on my visit. This is one of the locos he had for sale, and he showed it to me running with the sound and everything, which I was really pleased with, so I picked it up. The ballast wagon, also from Rachel. So she had a whole rake of these, and managed to pick one up for 15 quid, so I'm really pleased with that. So the pride of my fleet is the Class 56 here. It comes with full lights, sound and working fans at the top as well. So if I turn them on, you can see if I switch the direction, got the red and white lights, as well as the full sound. So for this end, this is pretty much this corner done at the moment. Well, not done, but this is as much progress as I've made. Of course, there's going to be a full interior inside these sheds, as I plan to set up a webcam. So when I'm doing live streams, you'll be able to see inside the shed, and then obviously it'll be fully lit and everything. Still got a lot of work to do on this left-hand side though. Still need to get some more Gauge Master buffer stops for all the other sidings. But other than that, on this left-hand side, this is pretty much all the fleet I've got running at the moment. So as you can see at the front here, I've started scratch building my own train crew accommodation and depot office for all the staff in the depot and any of the maintenance people that want to get in have to come in and sign in here. There's going to be an operations room, which I've started work on here, and it's like, I've got this from Hobbycraft, it's like felt floor to look like carpet, and then just some old kits and things. I've started making up some wallpaper, some doors. I'm planning to have a lift shaft here to a second floor, but as you can see, I've only really sort of started doing the outer shell at the moment. There's a bit of carpet in here, but yeah, once that's done, that's going to look really, really nice. And I couldn't find anything I wanted that would fit into this space. So of course, if you can't find something, if you can't buy something, then you've got to make it yourself. So I plan to have full interior with desks and everything as well, curtain railings, and as much detail as I can get in here really. So I can get some really nice shots of it when the depot is fully running. As we move down to the other side of the depot, you'll note that all the track work and cork's been laid now. I took a recommendation from Jason at Barnabas Junction to, originally I had just the Electrofrog points with the isolations, but I found that some locos like the DRS Class 20 was shorting even on the initial frog point, so now every single point here has got isolators, even the double slips, which have got a slightly larger space, so it's less likely to short. They've all got, these ones have actually got the Hornby. I'm not sure if they're the Code 100 ones, but the Hornby plastic insulating, and they're a lot more difficult to see as well, if you notice there, compared to the clear ones here. But yeah, all the tracks down. Not sure what I want to do ballasting wise yet. I've got 2-point motors in so far, this one here and this one just here. So haven't really touched too much on that yet. Can't really remember how much I got done on the last update, but the embankment has had a base coat, and I've got this sort of reservoir piece here, which comes from underneath the depot, which has had the dirt base coat, and it's all been sculpted. It's quite hard to see from this angle, to sort of give a bit of variance in texture. But the guys over at Wardle Scenics have very kindly sent me this package, which is the static grass embankment kit. So it's been perfect for my embankment, and also the Wardle Scenics basing glue. So huge thanks to those guys for sending me out this package, and in my next video hopefully I'll be able to get some of that. As you can see from this, I've made slightly more progress as I have at this end. I plan to have here, I bought this wheels kit actually, I think, is this these 2 small oil drums, which I'm going to have lined up here and here for the fueling points. And this is the hard standing, again from Scale Model Scenery. It's all Scale Model Scenery hard standing. Some of it's painted. I still need to do these bits and the bits in the middle. But this is for my single lane carriage maintenance shed, which I'll put on. That's what it looks like in place. As I say, I'm going to have a few fuel points up on this side. This is a head shunt as well into the 2-lane shed over there, but I will be using this lane, especially this lane, for fueling and filling up the oil drums. As you can see underneath at the moment, this is a bit of a mess. All I've managed to get in so far is the jumper wires for the drop wires for all the track, and that's just because I really wanted to sort of test out my new controller and get some things running and help me iron out any issues with the track plan. But talking of the track plan, I'm now going to pass you over to Andy, who very kindly put this track plan together, and he's going to show you, well, how he did it really, and how he managed to fit all of this operating potential in a 5-foot by 2-foot board. So I'll pass you over to him and I'll join you back in a second.
After discussions with Ollie, we decided I would have a go using AnyRail 6 to design the new extension to Wardle Road. The requirements were 5-foot by 2-foot baseboard area, a 2-access track area, carriageway sidings, utilisation of 2 depot existing buildings, 1 depot office, which will be new scratch built, a car park area, a fueling area, and some area for some tankers. So So sat down and opened up any rail 6. First of all, Ollie said he had an embankment area on the layout in the bottom right hand corner near to the entrance coming from the existing baseboards here, and also to get the car park. This seems to be an ideal location for the car park and obviously the depot buildings. We've got the fencing around the embankment area and also fencing around the external ends of the baseboard extension, and obviously there'll be some back scenes across the back. Obviously this could be a gated area. So look at then putting the 2 buildings. I've utilised any rail Backman 3 road, although Ollie's is actually a 2 road building. It was the same size, so I've utilised this icon out of any rail 6, and I've drawn up the size of the single road depot that Ollie has. So then is how do we get the tracking and also get everything in that Ollie requires. So I came up with this scenario where you've got the entrance coming off from the existing boards here. Locals can come in here, drop wagons or carriages off, come out here, return. Then the carriages can be pushed up for storage. So anything comes in here, it's got a way of getting out. So if it comes in here, there's a double slip here and a double slip there with also a Y point here. So this is just my take on it. There could be better ways, but discussing with Ollie, he seemed to like this layout. So then obviously if a loco is coming in here, how do we get it up to this engine shed and this engine shed here? So basically up onto here, then reverse back there and into, yes, it's a bit convoluted, but given the space and the area, that's I felt the best way to do that. You also looked at some fueling points for the. So here is the Backman fueling point and the Nightwing fueling storage tanks. This thing here is an oil terminal stroke fueling frame. So a loco with a couple of tankers comes in here, reverses into the frame, unloads with the thing, and the frame is utilised for the depot workers walking along the top of the tanks. So it's something I've seen on Alton TMD, which actually putting on my own personal layout. Ollie liked the idea, so we decided to give that a go. We have also thought about we could put in a hard standing area across the top of the depot, with also a walkway between the car park office building, so personnel can get over into the sheds and either side and walk down to the fueling depot. Then yeah, just talking to Ollie, seems to like it, and I'll let him get on with the rest of the video.
So I think you'll have to agree that Andy's put together a really nice track setup here, and you've got 2 double slips, you've got 2 3-ways in here, a couple of electro, and then the rest are industrial fog points. But it really leaves a lot of operating potential, especially this middle lane here. I'm really looking forward to using, because you can park up as much as you can into that space really. And then down this left hand side here as well, you've got a passing loop here, and then behind the camera here is going to be a little fiddle yard, 2-lane fiddle yard. off the board just to switch over stock and locos and things, but I've made sure there's enough room where that 56 is and the 20 is to allow me to use one of the 08s to pull a carriage back to this head shunt, then out to the shed, then back into the carriage maintenance shed. You may have seen as well in my other videos, the guys over at tracksidesigns.co.uk, I've still got a discount code for that, which I'll leave on the screen at the moment. That's still valid if you want to go and get yourself some excellent quality trackside signs. But they're putting together my custom company, WR Group, which I've got a picture on the screen now, which is going to be like, you know, you have the DRS, you have the EWS, the DB, British Rail, everything like that. I'm going to sort of have my own custom company for the depot, so it's going to be the WR Group. And as you can see, the guy over at Model Minutes made me this logo, and then I'm sending it over to Trackside Signs for them to get them printed out into various sizes, so I can brand the whole depot with this logo. So I'll bring you over to something slightly different over here. This is my sort of control board for the whole depot. I know a lot of people have their points and everything running through their controllers and their iPads and whatnot, but I'm very much a fan of sort of operating everything myself individually, like lever per lever for each point. So as you can see here, I've started putting together a bank of the Pico faceplates, and then all the switches will correspond to the various levels of depot. So these two here will be the first row, the first 2 points, and as each row goes back, I've got a different colour, and then I'll rotate throughout. This bottom section here is going to be so every single LED, pretty much every single lit up area and room on the depot can be individually turned on and off. So as you can see here, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but I'm using the pin screw terminals to RJ45s. So this one on the left here is the power, and then it alternatively goes points, lights, and these RJ45s then run out from here to the back of my baseboard here. So as you can see as well, I've now added a 12 volt, a 16 volt and a spare. It's 12 volt for the light, 16 volts for the points, and that's going to run directly from here into the control box and then to the points above. Also point out as well, I have the 12 volt and 16 volt and the spare here. Inside the control box there's also going to be a 5 volt and a 3 volt, which will be for the lighting. As you guys probably know that when you buy some of the lighting and things from China, they always come either 3 or 5 volts. So to save me adding resistors to all of them, it means I can directly wire them to their own own personal circuit dependent on the voltage required. It just makes my whole life a lot easier. So I can just connect the switch to whichever power supply I need, rather than trying to solder resistors onto the tiny wires. The only issues I've had are the isolations here where it's shorting. So I've only got a few dead spots, which are here, and there's also a dead spot on this double slip here, because it's not only isolated here and here, it's also isolated across here. So this piece of track at the moment is completely dead. Aside, I think, one negative rail running up to here, so need to get on to fixing that. But other than that, don't forget there's still discount codes for the shed ring, for the first 100 people, for the shed ring items, 3D printed items. The trackside signs have still got a discount code running as well, so they'll both be in the description. Once again, a huge thanks to Wardle Scenics. I will be doing a video on that in the next week or two on the embankment kit. So I think that's everything for this particular update. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed, and if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. If you've got any ideas on any way to improve these areas at all, please feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section. Once again, I don't claim to be an expert at scratch building, but as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely from my first attempt. And I hope to get some really good shots of trains passing through the windows, which is why I've added windows on both sides. If I go down to here, you can see the engine through both windows, and these will be office rooms, meeting rooms, sort of train crew chill out rooms. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next week probably for working on the embankment.